Wallace anyway, so.
Wallace, eh? Yeah. Okay, let me start. You ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another session of the Diaspora series. Hey, super excited to be down in Zambia. As you can see, we've been having different conversations with people from Zambia, and it's only right that we have a conversation with somebody who's a Kenyan, but in the diaspora, and the diaspora in this case being Zambia. But what I love about this conversation that we're about to have, he's not just a diasporan, but he is somebody who, I cannot believe Kenyans don't know who this guy is. You're going to be very happy and excited about the conversation. He has built a beast of a company down here in Zambia. In the different interviews that we've been having, you've been seeing us talking about something called Afri Delivery. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with us here in front, we have got the founder and the CEO of Afri Delivery, none other than Wallace Gige. So put your hands together for none other than Wallace Gige. At least you know the drill.
Yeah, I do.
You'll side me with the sound effects.
Yeah, 100%.
Afri Delivery, for those of you who may not know, is an e-commerce platform. That I'm not lying to you guys. You're going to enjoy this conversation. It's an e-commerce platform that is very unique to this. Okay, not unique. It's something that we know of, but what he has been able to do with it in this region, out of this world. So let's.
Yeah.
Welcome to the seat.
Thank you very much.
You're in front of the camera now.
Finally. I've been waiting.
You've been waiting, eh?
Yeah.
And the power of social media. I met Wallace via an Instagram DM.
Yeah.
And we got talking, and an amazing human being, hosted us amazingly well here. So excited to start the conversation.
Thank you.
This is going to be a long one. So
No, I'm ready.
let's start it from the beginning. First of all, how many years have you been in Zambia?
So I came to Zambia in 2016. That's October 26th.
Yeah.
So that should make it, what, almost 5?
5 years, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now rewind selected. When were you born? Where were you born? Let's start it from there.
Okay, so I was born in Kenya, a place called Wangige. So this guy is from Kabete, no Wangige. And I grew up there, then I moved. So I was
When
there.
were you born?
So I was born in 88.
88.
Yeah, 1988.
Bro, hold on. 88. You're embarrassing me, man.
Yeah,
You've done all
88.
these amazing things and
I've tried.
you've tried. You know, when people say I've tried, I tried. We know we're talking about seriousness. Okay.
Yeah.
And in your family, what born are you?
So I'm the second born. Yeah, so there's my sister, there's myself, and then my brother, my younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go on with this story.
Okay, so I was born at a place called Wangige. A very small town called Ruko. Those people are from Kabete or Kabete know the place. And then I was there until the age of 5, I think 5, 6, and then my mom got married. And then we moved to a place called Ngecha. It's not too far, it's probably about 10 minutes from where I was born. And I grew up from there until the age of 14. So when I was 13, 14 there, my mom was privileged to leave the country for the US.
Okay, rewind, stop.
Yeah.
What primary do you go to? What school
So
do you
I went to Mahinga Primary School from grade 1 to, here we call it grade.
Yeah.
From grade 1 to grade 2.
Uh-huh.
Then standard 3, I went to Tigoni Primary School. So I went to Tigoni Primary School all through to class 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're there, how was school?
School was okay. My mom was a teacher, yeah.
Okay.
So when I was between grade 1 and grade 3, my mom was my class teacher, which was pretty cool. I mean, I got all the privileges of having your mom as your class teacher. Anything you needed, lunch, all that, my mom could come through. Yeah. But then I had to leave when I was very young because my sister also left and she went to Tigoni and I followed her. But it was also a good school. And I believe my mom felt like where she was or where we were at that particular point would not really give the results that eventually she wanted. She was very ambitious, she still is. And that's why she moved me to Tigoni, and that's how I went from standard 3 to standard 8.
Yeah. Would you say you're a clever guy in school?
No.
Yeah,
I was fairly okay, yeah. I was fairly okay, but I think there's a very, if I focus really on books, the traditional learning way, I think I would have been okay. But unfortunately for me, I've never been a traditional learner. I'm always distracted by other things.
So what was distracting you?
So my distraction is and this is something that I actually came to realize. It used to bother me when I was a kid. Something I came to realize when I grew up. I'm more of an observer. So I sit back and I observe and that's how my mind processes things. You see, it's easy for me to process things that I see as compared to things that I read. So my imagination
You're
works,
visual.
Exactly, I'm visual. And I think that was the differentiator, that one factor. But if I had focused on the books, I think I was a fairly clever guy because I used to do very well in primary school.
Yeah.
Until maybe I didn't perform well in my KCP. I think I remember my mom, my siblings making fun that I didn't even hit the half mark. So yeah.
That's encouraging to hear that, especially because we know the end story of you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I didn't even hit the half mark. I remember when I was going to get my results. A few guys I met by the gate, they told me, "Start from the bottom, my guy. Don't start from the top. Your name is somewhere by the bottom, by the bottom there." And that's what I did. Yeah. And I scored a solid 244
out of 500.
I think it was out of 500. Yeah.
Okay. A question. I've not had you. Maybe you don't have to speak about this, but I've not had you mention your dad anyway in this picture.
Yeah. So my mom is a single mom.
Okay.
Yeah. She told me it never worked out, and I never really dug deep into it. Yeah, but my mom is a single mom. She's been riding this thing by herself.
So it's been you and your mom and your siblings.
Yeah, my siblings. Yeah, but my mom got married again now.
Yes,
too.
in fact, because I had you now mention that.
Yeah, she got married again to my stepdad, who later on passed away. So my stepdad is my younger brother's dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've had you mention. Actually, are you in comps at this time? Are you tampering with computers growing up?
Yeah. No, at that time.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know anything about computers.
Of course, now I don't know. This is at that time.
No, I didn't know anything about computers. I actually came to learn more about computers when I went to my secondary school.
Okay. So when do you go to secondary school? Let's go there now.
Yeah. So I go to secondary school in 2000. When? 2002? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's when I go to my Form 1. I went to St. Elizabeth Academy, Karen. So at this time I have moved now from the environment that I knew, because don't forget I told you that my mom was privileged enough to go to the US at that time. And then
so your mom leaves you and goes to the US?
Yeah, she goes when I think I was in class 6 or class 7 there.
Okay. Who do you guys stay with?
My grandpa.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mom leaves me back at our old house by myself. So she takes my sister and my brother and leaves me there. You know what she told him? Because I asked her the other day, I'm like, so what was your plan when you left me? When you left me at our old house? Yeah. And she told me, she was very honest, she told me, I still hadn't decided what to do with you because we were almost finishing your primary school and I wasn't sure how you would commute from your grandfather's house to school because I wasn't ready to transfer you. So she left me there until I think my sister is the one that asked.
Yo.
Yeah.
So she went with your sister and your small bro
my
to
sister
the
was
US?
No.
Yeah.
So to my grandpa's.
Okay.
And she left me at our old house.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I've understood.
So it was just me and my stepdad there. My brother was young, so he could easily move. He moved to another school. My sister was already, I think that's when she was going to secondary school. So she was okay. Yeah. So I asked her and she told me that she hadn't decided what to do with me. And eventually I told I think my grandfather is the one that told her he needs to come. So what I used to do is it made my commute a bit harder. So instead of using one bus, now I was taking 4 in the morning and 4 in the evening. That's a total of 8 in a day.
What?
Yeah, for a whole, I think it was 2 years.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, until I finally finished my primary school. Yeah, and then so there was a huge transition between my primary school and my secondary school, because my primary school was, looking at economic class, it was very low. My mom was a teacher, salaries Zawalimu is not that good. So when she went to the US, now her focus was making sure that we got the best education. And that was...
So she went alone?
She went alone, yeah. So that was when, now I saw my mom trying to push our kids to private schools. So I was the first in our family to go to a proper private secondary school. So I went to St. Elizabeth Karen. And when I when I got there was a serious culture shock because because now I'm together with these kids that have grown up in privileged homes. And the lifestyle they used to live and the lifestyle they expected, they matched, but for me it didn't match. The lifestyle I used to live and the lifestyle I got there was very different. But I caught up very fast, and of course my environment now had changed, so even my vision and my goals changed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and a backstory to this: when I was in my primary school, I had one ambition I'll never forget up to this day. I wanted to start a small shop, kiosk, to sell two of the commodities that were mostly demanded. That was paraffin and charcoal. Because because in my primary school, where we used to live, there was no electricity, there was no running water, mvua too. And so of course, once when you don't have electricity, then all these other things.
You've got paraffin and lamps and all
that.
And but what I like about that is you are already entrepreneur. You're already seeing opportunities, and this will come along with the story. But you could already identify demand and supply, and how you become the answer to that solution.
How I bridge that gap.
Yes, how you bridge that gap. Man, that's exciting. Okay.
Yeah. So after moving to secondary school and because once we moved back to my grandfather's, then I had electricity. I mean, paraffin was not in use anymore. So my vision now changed. My goals changed. So I was still interested in entrepreneurship, but not in that field anymore. Not supplying paraffin and charcoal. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about supermarkets now.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say you're thinking about supermarkets?
So now it's changed from me selling paraffin and charcoal to me now having my own supermarket that sells everything else other than paraffin and charcoal.
This is what you're thinking about when you're in Form 1, Form 2?
Yeah.
Yo, okay, so did you take subjects that pushed you in that direction?
Yeah, I took, I mean, it's
or you just have to take what's there?
Yeah, you have to take what it's there, but I was always very good in business. Always very, very good in business, the theory part of it. Never got better in accounting anyway, but with the theory I was very, very good in entrepreneurship,
Okay, sweet. Now let's continue with this story. So how is school? Tell me more about school. Now you're meeting all these different kids from different backgrounds, different classes, and I put that in quotes.
Exactly. So I was only there for 1 year. Okay, there was a lot of bullying and I didn't like that. So I feel like my secondary school life started when I went to Form 2. So I went to a school in Nanyuki called Brickwoods. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I moved. I went. I remember I went to do an interview at Lukenya. You know Lukenya?
Athiriva.
So the school was okay. I mean, the clever chaps and all that, but first of all, I didn't like the environment. There was something missing. And then one of the parents said, you know what, I'm splitting my kids because I don't want them to go to the same schools. But so there's a school that I know of, maybe your kid could fit in. At this point, my aunt was my guardian. So the guy was telling that to my auntie. Yeah. And he suggested Brickwoods. I went there, did an interview, and I got in. The school had a population of 60 students mixed between Form 1 and Form 4.
Whoa.
Is it 60 or 30? Somewhere in between there. Because I remember our class only had 10 students. And I believe and I feel like that's why my secondary school started.
With Nyanyuki, this first and foremost is out of Nairobi.
Yeah, it's out of 3 hours. 3 hours away.
Yeah, 2.5 I'd say. In the middle of...
Right next to Mount Kenya. Yes. So when you open your eyes like this, the first thing you see is Mount Kenya. And it was cold.
I can imagine.
It was a freezer. So yeah. So that's why I went to my secondary school from Form 2 to Form 4. And I believe that school really molded me. 100%. Really molded me. Opened up my mind. That's why I practiced my leadership skills because I was a prefect there. I've always been I've always been an introvert, yeah. So I keep to myself, even to this day, I do that. But that school had a very compact and small crowd.
Yeah.
That it was easy for me to open up to that crowd.
Yeah.
And it made it very easy for me now to grow to what I feel I was meant to be.
And did you enjoy school?
My secondary school, yeah.
Okay.
It was good. I mean,
was it a mixed school?
No, it was just boys.
Just boys.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, we were very few guys. Everybody, we were all friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you friends still today?
Yeah. I mean, actually, the guys are having a gathering on the 14th of August. I wish I could attend.
You can, bro. That's good.
I can, but it's too much work.
Okay, so I'm sure you do better in terms of grades.
Yeah, 100%.
So because in fact I want to really talk
but
about
I still
this.
didn't perform well at the end of the day.
But because there are less students,
yeah,
you had more personalized learning with the teachers.
Yeah.
Because they of course know your name. They can tell, you know, it's your school has 10, your class had 10 people.
Yeah.
So it's more personalized.
Yeah. I mean, it was, but we still had, I don't know, we were performing well. Let me just say we were all fair.
Yeah.
I think in the class of 10, 15 people, only 2 guys were like
A students.
Yeah. Everybody else was just
Bruce Cruz.
But we're all between the B's. It's called B stand.
Yeah.
And the C minus there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So at this time, you've talked about the supermarket.
But the school was new, so I feel like even the teachers and everything was experimental there.
Okay, you were the guinea pigs.
Exactly, because I think they were the first years.
Yeah. I know that feeling. So my question is, the dream.
Yeah.
You're talking about how this school molded you and everything. You've also mentioned about the supermarket chain. Yeah. So at this time, are you still in that vision of I'm about to solve this, I'm about to build a supermarket? So
that changed when I moved from Current to Nanyuki. I got love, and I still had it for music. Yeah. And I really wanted to do something that was music related. I could sing, but you know what?
You could drop a tune. So
I can't. But I could sing. But you know what I was good at? Songwriting. I was a very good writer.
Oh, nice.
So even when we were doing events, so we had a school choir of like 10, 15 dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that used to write for them. So write, compose,
Yo.
Yeah, and I don't know whether guys was just gassing me up, but but they told me I was good, and I used that to somehow create some sort of a following in that school. So I decided the next business I wanted to get into was going to be music. And at this particular point, I did my research, the biggest record label at that particular point. At this time, I'm in Form 2 now.
Yeah, and the year is like what?
The year is 2005, 2004. Yeah, 4, 5, I can't even remember, man. Yeah, so I did my research. The biggest label at this particular point is Caliph. Yeah. So I decided, you know what? Let me do my research, see what it takes to record one song, and then try and build this thing. So I knew I could compose music. Of course, my music composition was at that particular point. It was very substandard. When I think about it now, it wasn't good enough. But I really wanted to record something. So I called my mom and told her, you know what, I want to record a song. Clement has told me it's 15 Gs. I think my mom gave me 10, I can't even remember. And I went and I paid to record my first jam. At this particular point, I'm already a celebrity in school. Yeah.
As this songwriter, musician?
Songwriter, and I could sing.
Okay.
But you know what made me big in school? Knowing the artists now, personally, because now I had their phone numbers. So if you go to the studio, like I would go to the studio during holidays.
Caliph.
And you'd meet, and I'd meet all these guys. I was very good friends with Pili Pili. Yeah. So
did you record your song?
Yeah. And my first song was called Banjuka before DNA dropped his. I don't want to say that my jam was stolen, but yeah.
You just put it on there.
I remember.
Just put your collar.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. So I went. I remember. I one holiday I went. I've seen people complaining about how they used to sit outside Claymore's studio waiting.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that is a lifestyle. You will sit.
Even though you had the money.
Yeah, but some guys are just coming in. They need to do their stuff. Jokali and Onini, they need to do their stuff. They go in, and the guys spend the whole day there. You're out there sitting and waiting for the longest time.
With guys,
random guys, yeah. Until I became friends with Pilipili, that's when I could walk in, walk out, walk in with him, walk out, walk in. And eventually I recorded my stuff, although it was never mixed and mastered. I recorded. And you know what happened? How I became friends with Pilipili? Claymore asked him to help me write. So Pilipili is the one that wrote my jam and asked Jimwat whether he could jump on it.
Yo.
Yeah, so Jimwat did. I wish I had it. I could
You
play
don't
for
know,
you.
I'm waiting for you to say you got it.
I had it for you.
Banjuka.
Yeah, but it was, yes. And they gave me the CD.
So did Jimot jump on the song?
He did, yeah. Even his lyrics were there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they gave me the CD. And let me tell you something. Whether this CD is mixed or mastered or not, this was my gateway. When I went back to school with that CD, and these guys had Jimot on that jam, that was it. That was it. And I had so in school at that particular point, you used to have SIM cards. So you go with your SIM card. You don't really have a phone. So, and all the numbers are saved there. So during weekends, I'll be like, please say na chukwe simu. And the guys will be like, no, we dare you. So you go to the secretary's office. Unaomba simu. They used to allow us to do that. Unaomba simu, you put your SIM card and you call whoever you want to call. So I used to do that. And
they used to search your bags to make sure you don't come with a phone?
Yeah. But back then, I mean, how many people own mobile phones?
Okay,
there were not a lot. But SIM cards were very popular. Yeah. Tachukua SIM card anybody at home. So, yeah, and that's what I used to do. And I would put it on. So we used to have cubicle. I was a prefect, so I used to have a cubicle. So I would fill up guys there. Then I'd be like, ngoja msikie. And I would call these guys, and the guy would pick up. Eish. And that changed everything. So I became the celebrity at school, and I learned how to make it a business. I learned how to monetize that. I knew people couldn't afford to pay money. Let me tell you how I used to get favors. I used to trade in school. So our school used to, for breakfast, you used to get either an egg or sausage, smoky. And I would tell guys, so if you want to, so I had like a couple of songs. If you want to come for my show, which was every Saturday, the currency of entry is either an egg or a smoky. You have to promise. You don't come with it.
Yeah.
Promise that on Saturday or Sunday during breakfast, utaniletea mayai yangu ama sausage yangu. And I used to have two bodyguards that were in charge of that. And I used to collect so many of these smokies and sausages that is what I used to trade in school.
No, hold on. So guys would pay to come and hear you do your music.
Yeah.
Like how many songs do you have at this time?
Maybe 3, 4.
But are they recorded?
No, only one was recorded. It was a super mega hit.
So the other
mega hit is cool.
The other ones.
People knew the lyrics to that song, by the way, at school because of how many times I had performed that music.
And the other ones are what?
The other ones are just
tracks.
Yeah, apapale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're just such a... So guys will pay you in those eggs and smokies.
Yeah, eggs and smokies. Like I ate so many eggs in high school. It's unbelievable. And smokies. Yeah, so that's what I used as my currency.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so how else do you pursue more of this music in school? Do you record another song?
I tried to, but which was also a big problem. Getting access to the studio was a big issue. My mom even gave me some money to shoot a video, but how are you going to shoot a video if the song is not even mastered and it's not even out? I remember I paid Jimot 5 Gs for that remix. I gave him 5K cash.
What do you mean for a remix?
Yeah, I paid him for that remix.
For him to rap on your song?
I paid. I'm sure you can't remember this.
Yo.
But I paid him 5 Gs for that remix.
So,
cash.
oh, you had recorded your one version.
Yeah.
And then now you wanted him to
Clemo said it needs a rapper. The song needs a rapper because I was just singing. Who was the guy? Timot was there. He wrote his verse very fast.
And you paid him 5 Gs.
I paid him 5 Gs on a Sunday. I remember I jumped on a bus, met him in town, gave him 5 Gs, went back home.
But you never got to shoot this video.
I never got to shoot the video. My song never got mastered. Nilikana CD kapata scratch.
Where?
Nikabweka.
Man.
Nikasema
You just decided to eat that video, man.
Yeah, I ate it. My mom asked me about it the other day. I was like, this is what it is.
Okay, so what happens now when you finish school? Where does this story go?
So when I finish school, I go to. This is now where
you don't do well, or you do well, or
no,
you just
I don't do well. I'm just an average kid. I got a C plane.
Okay.
I go to so at this particular point I try to go to America.
You are not thinking of going to uni in Kenya?
No.
Nairobi Uni, you couldn't even enter?
No, I wasn't planning on going there. I could, but I had to go through a pre-university, of which I went to.
Okay.
So
you said you're thinking of going to America?
Yeah. I try. My visa gets rejected.
Ouch.
Yeah. So I think I tried once and I was like, you know what? This is not working out. So yeah. Then I decide, let me now go to university and study business.
Where are you working, by the way? I mean, where you staying at this time?
I'm staying at my auntie's Kitengela.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
your mom's sister?
My mom's sister, yeah. Okay. She was living in Kitengela. And then so the process would be, I don't want to waste my time with these short courses and so on. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to university straight. Since I've got a C plane, I need a C plus to qualify to enter any university. So I need to do a pre-university course, which is about 3 months. And I'm going to do it at Kenya Methodist University. So that's where I went. But before, there's something very important that happened before, after me finishing school, secondary school, and me going to university.
University or pre-university?
Pre-university.
Okay.
So so I finished in December. I think pre-university was in April, a few months later. But in January, I think it was in January, I attended a very important conference.